So Joseph Parker apparently would fight Alexander Usyk for the WBO belt if Anthony Joshua vacates the title. So what is actually going on around here? Joseph Parker's manager, what's his name now? David Higgins. He told Sky Sports there's talk that Joshua might have to vacate one of the vacate one of the sanctioning bodies. If he vacates the WBO, then suddenly you've got Usyk mandatory, and I think the next available ranked boxer is Joseph Parker. You could end up with a situation where you have Usyk fight Parker for the vacant title, which funny enough is how Joseph Parker became world champion. He fought Andy Ruiz for the vacant title. History repeats itself. So those are the words of David Higgins, Parker's manager. I think David Higgins was Parker's promoter before, but Parker's obviously made some adjustments to his team, where his promoter is now Eddie Hearn, and David Higgins is obviously Joseph Parker's manager. And a lot of boxing fans, if you're on social media or on you watch the interviews and stuff, you might be quite familiar with the David Higgins banter with Eddie Hearn when Anthony Joshua was going to fight Joseph Parker, and also when Dillian White was going to fight Joseph Parker as well. So what's happening now? We have a scenario where if Joshua vacates if Joshua vacates the WBO, we're gonna potentially have Usyk fighting Joseph Parker. So let me just go have a quick look at the rankings. So on the left here we have the WBO heavyweight rankings. Obviously Anthony Joshua is the current holder of the WBO. Number one in the rankings you've got Usyk, and then number two you've got Joseph Parker. So if Anthony Joshua here vacates the WBO, two people's gonna have to fight for that vacant belt. So that is obviously and clearly looks like it's gonna be Usyk versus Joseph Parker. And Joseph Parker being a previous WBO champion, I'm sure his team has a good relationship with the WBO. So I'm very sure they'll probably be happy to set up this fight between Usyk and Joseph Parker. So especially Usyk, who obviously held the WBO cruiserweight belt to take on the former WBO champion for the vacant title. This looks like a fight that could actually get made pretty quickly if all terms can be agreed successfully. And it'll also be an interesting fight to see Usyk take on Parker, because a lot of fans and a lot of commentators have been talking about Usyk benefiting from this foot speed in the heavyweight division, his hand speed, his foot speed. Well, Parker's got very good hand speed. He's got good foot speed as well. So is Joseph Parker the guy to nullify Usyk's advantages in the heavyweight division? Is Joseph Parker the man to defeat Alexander Usyk in his first real test? Because Joseph Parker would be his proper real test in heavyweight division. So we would have to wait and see how that fight would be, because that would be a very interesting fight. Because I've always likened Parker's movement, not 100%, but I've likened his hand speed and his movement to the likes of a cruiserweight, even though he's not a cruiserweight. But I've likened his movement and his hand speed and his abilities like that to those in the cruiserweight division, because most heavyweights don't have his hand speed and don't have his foot speed, and Parker's got both. Only thing I've really criticized Parker for is obviously I haven't really seen him knocking out guys in devastating fashion. I've only seen him knock out maybe a few cream puffs and a few other fringe contenders and journeymen. Some fights he's had in New Zealand. So I'm not really convinced on Joseph Parker's power, but it would be a fascinating fight to see Usyk's hand speed, Usyk's movement, how Usyk reads different fighters, his accurate punches, always being able to find your chin, and Parker's hand speed and his movement. That'll be a very good, interesting fight. I feel like Usyk versus Parker could go either way. I suspect that an Usyk Parker fight might go 12 rounds. I suspect it might go 12 rounds, but if there's a knockout, I suspect it'll be late. Probably around 10 and onwards, around 10 to 12. I suspect a knockout could be there for either man, because it is heavyweight boxing at the end of the day. But I suspect that fight will go 12 rounds, and maybe I might lean towards Usyk winning on the card just because of his superior boxing skills, superior boxing technique as well. And also, from what I've seen of Joseph Parker in the fights with Derek Chisora, not Derek Chisora, the fights with Dillian White, I didn't like the way he ran away. He ran away from. I don't know whether to say he ran away, but I think he shied away for a few rounds until the round 12, where he managed to drop Dillian White. And if you find Usyk, you can't afford to be shying away from the fight. You can't fight the way he fought Dillian White, shying away from the fight 3 rounds and turning it on in round 12, because Usyk has the ability, as shown with the fight against Tony Bellew. He can get to your chin and he can knock you out. But at the same time, Joseph Parker has shown a very solid chin. If you've watched the Parker Dillian White fight, this guy took a deadly left hook on his chin. This solid left hook from Dillian White on Joseph Parker's chin. And for Joseph Parker to take down the chin and still continue fighting, maybe that's one of the reasons why he took a few rounds to recover, maybe, and then managed to drop Dillian White late on in the round, because he took a clean left hook on the chin. So if there's going to be a knockout in this Usyk Parker fight, I suspect it would be late. I'll be surprised if Usyk knocks out Parker, just because of the shots I've seen Parker take previously from people like Dillian White. That solid left hook, that's Dillian White's trademark left hook. I haven't seen Usyk's chin tested in heavyweight division yet, so I can't really gauge whether Usyk will be knocked out or when he'll be knocked out, because I haven't really seen his chin tested in the heavyweight division yet, even though Parker's not really known to be a big puncher. But yeah, it'll be an interesting fight to see Usyk versus Parker. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Who do you think wins between a potential bout between Usyk and Joseph Parker for the vacant WBO? That's if Joshua vacates the WBO, by the way. Yeah, who do you think? Who would you favor, Parker or Usyk? It could be hand speed versus hand speed, foot speed versus foot speed for the vacant WBO. And yeah, who do you think wins this fight? And who would you rather see Usyk fight, or Usyk or Parker? Would you rather see Usyk fight Joshua or Parker fight Joshua for the WBO if Joshua vacates it? Because Joshua's obviously going to try, if he vacates, he's going to try to pick it back. But for my opinion, I'd rather see Joshua fight Usyk, just because I've seen what Parker's done with Joshua before. So I'd rather see. I'm one of the people these days who wants to see fighters fighting new people. I don't want to be. I want to see it as less rematches as possible. I'd rather see Usyk fight Joshua, just because I've seen what Parker did in the Joshua fight. Boring bout. I'm just gonna have to say it was boring. No, Parker didn't do nothing in that fight. In the first Joshua fight, the referee wasn't any good either. But for me, I just rather see, if Parker fights Usyk, I'd rather just see Usyk win, so we can just see obviously the undisputed guy from the cruiserweight take on the unified heavyweight champion in the heavyweight division, obviously. So drop your comments in the comment section below. Like, subscribe. Peace out, guys. Cool.